Yeah, I went to bed super early.
Oh, me too.
I
Dude, I was up listening to lectures at 5:30.
Yeah, what was you listening to?
Let's see. I went back in and reviewed the symptoms of a codependent after they've lost their narcissist to serve.
Oh wow, that's some theoretical stuff.
That's pretty deep, But man, finding out who you are is the deepest exploration you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who am I?
Yeah. I'm with that because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I mean, quarter century old, I'm trying to figure it out.
And what's crazy is after as soon as you start to think you're backing it into a corner and life throws you a left hand, it's like, what the? Now I'm a dad?
Yeah.
What the?
All right. I think we're ready, Kay, wherever you go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, action.
You talking to me? I'm talking to you. This is talking to me, talking to you. And I got Brian Wade Presley in the building. How you doing, my man?
Doing great.
Dude,
better than I deserve.
It's early in the morning. You got me up for a nice early podcast. That's nice. I like it. I got my tea right here. I'm sipping. But no, how you doing this morning, man?
Doing good. Excited.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to have you here. So obviously I said your name. So I would like to explore on that, man. So you are going to be doing some shows in the name of Elvis Presley.
I'm a tribute artist.
That's awesome, man. And so I just kind of want you to kind of give me a little bit of the insight of what it is that you are doing and how you think you're going to be able to display that kind of art to people.
Really, the hard work is done. Dad did all the hard work. People already love Elvis. And having a connection with him and taking up his work has led me on a journey of self-exploration. Oh my, those are some big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the king of rock and roll we're talking about.
Yeah, when you start practicing kingship, it takes you down a rabbit hole that.
Yeah, you were talking a little bit about that before the podcast about taking on kingship and how you just take things from example from Elvis and then kind of put them into your own perspective and your light and take it on your journey the way that you perceive it, which I like that line, man, because everything's perspective in life,
oh man,
I think that very different people always are gonna, even if they think alike, they'll always see things in a different light. You know what I mean?
So
sorry to interrupt your train of thought.
No, you asked tough questions, man. I have to think about this.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to hit you with a curveball.
It's early in the morning. Let's get it rolling.
Yeah, like I said, it's early morning.
Nothing like some excitement. So I'm gonna dig deep here. What Elvis did for me, exploring and learning about him and watching literally hours and hours and hours of his live work. I just kept seeing so many similarities. And what Elvis really did for me was he gave me a good example to change from a warrior king out there doing it on my own to a gentleman king.
Yeah.
Where you realize that, we're all kings,
Yeah.
And when I started really delving into this and learning his work and watching the old movies and stuff, and I mean, it's just, Pop did all the hard work. So when my life's journey brought me to here and the connections and the inspiration to what I realize is that, what I want to do is I want to go around spreading kingship, because this is a fantastic journey to have the opportunity to go in front of people and do Dad's work, and the people already love it, so the hard work is done.
Yeah.
And I just get to go around and just be like, you're a king.
Yeah.
I saw you singing. Get up. Let's. Here, take my glasses. Put these on.
Well,
it'll change your life, kid.
And that's a kind of a really good philosophy, because that is what it is. I mean, man, like, if you just believe in yourself to be what you want to be, whatever it is, you can accomplish that by putting the pressure on you and making diamonds out of it. You know what I mean? Like, just do it.
I did a lot of karaoke. Karaoke people are amazingly kind.
Yeah.
And so as I kept exploring more of Dad's work, there were, most of the time the people were very supportive, but I used to make jokes about, come on, there's a lot of pressure, because if you do an Elvis song poorly, some little old lady's going to stab you in the thighs. You walk by the table and be like, that was terrible.
They take it personally.
you're defiling the king's name, And so I'm just like, woof, I got to bring my A game here, So yeah, and the more I take this on and the more real it becomes, the more it means.
Yeah.
The more it's just gaining meaning. I mean, and it means something to the people.
Yeah.
To have a connection with the king, And I mean.
So you say that you were doing like karaoke and stuff. Is that kind of what started your path on like singing and like getting into music and all that? Or how did you get into music, like playing and singing?
It goes way back, like clear back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My brothers were just amazingly talented. My mom just loved to sing harmony when we'd go on these long family trips. So and my voice never settled down until I was in my 20s.
Oh, so that's
I could never sing.
So that's a story too. I remember you telling me at some point that your mom met Elvis.
Yeah, well, I didn't know about this until very just a few years ago. Really, my uncle and I were at shipwrecks, and this lady stopped and she was like, "Oh my God!" She says, "Hemingway and Presley together," and we just laughed. And she's like, "Can I take your pictures?" And we're like, "Sure." So we leaned in, took a picture, and I was like, "Yeah, this is my Uncle O." And he looks a lot like Hemingway. He's got that weathered and the gray, and it's just a distinguished gentleman. And that's my mom's brother. And so she, took a picture of him, and they talked for a little bit, and she was like, "Yeah," she's like, "and you really do look like Elvis." And I laughed, and Uncle O just pipes right up and is just like, well, he oughta. Elvis may very well be his dad, And we just laughed and went on, and I was just like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Well, he was your mom got a ride from Elvis, way back in the day, and anybody that saw Elvis, anybody that had any contact with his life, became a piece of history, it's life changing."
I mean, you use this house as an example. I mean, dude, it's just still standing there the way it was, basically.
Yeah.
That's like, it's literally like a museum now. And it's wild.
Yeah, Pop did good. I mean, every little shred is history now. And it's.
Yeah. So what kind of like? So you said you played music for a while, and so you take this kingship ideology and kind of like try to push it and put it on to people to make them feel better. So what kind of got you into that, like just Elvis in general? Like what was it? What story? You said you learned that later on in life. So what kind of got you into this path?
My dad was raised by Depression era parents. So he was always like, pay your bills first, very conservative, and. So I moved way out into the country, to raise my family. Very, we homeschooled, we home birthed, we homesteaded. And I just took that, very seriously. I ended up with a self-sufficient farm, It was an amazing journey. And during that whole time, I really was playing the part of a warrior king, I was out there conquering and breaking rules and burning bridges and, all the things that you do when you're young and stupid. And when we got into community theater, Mike Roberts and Paulette, just wonderful, wonderful people. we got into a 3-part series of plays, Pulitzer Prize-winning plays, and I got involved in the second one. And the third one that was coming up, my part, which was a cop, stands in for the Elvis impersonator that got sick. And so everybody was just like, ooh, that'll be so fun. I think, and I was immediately thrown under the rug and be like, yeah, he can sing it too. And I was like, well, man, So the Mike and Paulette just got so excited, and they're so supportive, and they were just so. At that time, dude, I'd had a high and tight flat top and a goatee for like, I don't know, since I was 12.
Oh man.
So it was a whole different thing for me to grow my hair out and grow out these sideburns. And as soon as I did, man, people, it's crazy. People would just stop me on the street, and just be like, man, you look like Elvis, and then they would immediately tell me. If they're my aunt, and they tell me stories about Elvis, so I'm just getting all this history. And, it's amazing.
It is cool. So that's what kind of led you on to like so that one theater that led into people going, man, he's gotta be the Elvis guy. Oh, and he kind of looks like Elvis, and So then it led into you looking into Elvis as a person, as his theories and his psychology and what he was trying to do.
Dude, kingship. I mean, he was a king.
Yeah.
He had. I mean, he was, and he had his warrior king era. That Memphis Mafia. I'm sure. And Pop was a black belt. I mean, so. He was no one to fool around with, but, he really did. He taught me how to be a gentleman king. And so I really want to just try and pass that on. Yeah. Just be like, hey man, you don't have to kick against the pricks, man.
I like it, man. And I definitely see that into the way that you're, taking life on too. Like you're definitely taking those philosophies on, and you have so digging into the brain and all that kind of psychology. You also are a massage therapist, so more about the muscles and the nerves within our body too.
Yeah,
in like a scientific way, and that's so cool. So I got I had a little bit of a back pain the other day.
Yeah.
And you were like, check this out. And he turned my back into gold for a moment. And then the next day I didn't have that pulled muscle anymore. It was fantastic.
The body is amazingly merciful.
Yeah. The way anatomy works and all that. I've been learning a lot more about that. It's very intriguing.
It's humbling.
So I was just, if you could kind of just for a second touch on, because I'm interested in, you were talking a little bit about the science of like how the different muscles and nerves work in your body.
Okay.
So if you could just kind of, just a general kind of like thing of like, how did you get into that? Like what made you kind of like learn that path of work?
Whoa. Wow. Yeah, let's dig deep. Let's go. Okay, so this takes me way, way back.
Oh, yeah.
I have a servant's heart. Yeah. So I have always taken on other people's pain.
Yeah.
So when I started into massage therapy, being a hairy-knuckled dude, it really, and living, way out in the country, I really had to distinguish myself as a medical massage therapist, not a back rubber, dude, be like, I don't want some dude rubbing my back. I'd be like, I don't want to give a back rub. Yeah. A dude a back rub,
Exactly, yeah.
I'm here doing therapy.
No, it's exactly. And that's what, I kind of wanted to touch light on that, too.
Right. So my massage therapy journey started out, I was a hardcore, it's just like my life, started out a hardcore neuromuscular therapist. I within the first year I was licensed, I took like 10 years of continuing education. I just ate it, man. I just lived it. Nerve pathways, origins, insertions. Oh my God. I fancied myself an anatomy nerd. And so in the beginning of my practice, I was really going after the working class. And so I I would work on these people, and I'd be like, yeah, we want to, get in there about the 6 or 7 on the pain level. We're really trying to get to these deep knots, And as I worked on the public, I realized that, man, not everybody, wants to, have their most tender spot poked.
Yeah.
So I had to learn a softer approach. Pardon me. And so I learned orthobionomy was the next most significant change to my style. And orthobionomy is fascinating, man. It's like reverse psychology neuromuscular. Instead of, punching straight in on that spot, you go into the way of dysfunction, to quote an ancient Chinese philosopher. It's not Sun Tzu, but it'll come to me later after the interview. I'm sure I'll be like, it'll come out. Mm-hmm. But he said, if a man is crooked and you wish to make him straight, make him more crooked and he'll straighten himself. Mm. And so that is the basic philosophy behind orthobionomy. If you're all locked up, instead of me going in there and being like, this is the muscle group and this is the nerve pathway and we're going to work on this, do some pin and stretch and, the very direct approach, which is great, but that doesn't work for everybody. It's humbling because it's you when you get to this level of work, you realize it's not me. I'm really not doing this. All I'm doing is with my background and the anatomy and physiology. I can just be like, this is really what's hurting you. And you'd be like, and be like, okay, so let's shorten this. Like judo. I learned judo as a kid, and you instead of you accept and then you redirect.
Yeah. Okay.
And so orthobionomy is like healing judo, and so you compress into the dysfunction. If their neck is already cranked this way, you would gently, and compress it towards that. Still giving them that spot, not even on in the neuromuscular they call it flying under the radar. Just before you tense up, that's flying under the radar. So this orthobionomy is like way under the radar. This is just like, this is it. We're compressing. As far as the physiology behind it, you're confounding the proprioceptors. Okay. They're all on guard. They're these living limit switches within the fascia of our body. They're mostly in our joints.
Okay.
That's the largest. Anyway, but everywhere, that's how we have conscious perception of what do I do with my arms? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You when you freak out, you're all of a sudden your proprioceptor's like, we don't know what to do, man. What am I supposed to do with my arms?
I can see that you've really sustained a lot of the stuff you're talking about into what you're doing all the time. I mean, like, knowing that, like, you obviously started doing this a long time ago with the massage therapy, and you said you've been singing for a long time. I mean, but you've manifested these theories and thoughts into what you're trying to convey now. So back to the Elvis thing, you're going to be taking this on the road soon. Is the idea correct?
Yeah.
So give me an idea, like, what kind of, like, your plan is for, like, what you want to kind of achieve going out and doing, man.
Okay, well, just to bring the massage therapy thing to a close. Just so I can just show how all of these pathways in my life have just keep bringing me to this point.
Yeah. And
so as a massage therapist, I can, help people out of pain, reverse engineer some pain. And then I pass on the ownership to them. It's like, hey, it's not me. It's you. If these mechanisms did not exist in your body already, then this wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I give them ownership of their own recovery, and that is like passing on kingship. Hey, man, this is your body, and you own this. You're better.
Yeah.
You're over this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. They intertwine.
And so with massage therapy, I can see one person at a time.
Yeah.
Where when all of a sudden this Brian Wade Presley kept coming to life, I realized, I can do the very same thing. I can pass on, kingship. I can let people see that, no, man, you're in control. This is you. This is your life, you know. And so that pathway in my personal life led me, you know, down some rocky roads, and for sure, dead ends and disasters. But this is a way to turn all of those failures into, you know, if you are still practicing kingship, then this is just a bump in the road. You know, this is just another bump in the road. You know and it's a very personal journey. You know, what does being a good king mean to you? Will, you are so kind and so open that you are able to bring people in and dig deep in their brain. I mean, dude, I went back to when I was like 4 years old.
Yeah,
man. I mean, there for a minute, I had to breathe that off.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
bring it back to the present. So I mean, yeah, you have special powers to get people to share stuff. So thank you for this chance to, you know.
Well, thank you, man.
Explore, really. I mean, I'm learning stuff about myself as it comes, you know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of, I get, that's really, you know, like, I'm not very, like, I don't think I'm a very, like, brilliant, intelligent person. I do think I have a capacity of intelligence, right? But I don't find myself being, like, somebody that's, like, perspectively a genius, you know what I mean? But I do believe that betterness is always the path, and then you can achieve whatever you want. If you want to speak more I can't say
more eloquently.
I just glitched the fucking matrix.
No, dude, that is that you made your own perfect point.
Yeah,
that's what you're striving for. Having those words available.
Yeah,
dude, you are a brilliant communicator. You know, so don't sell yourself short.
Thank you. I've come a long way. I looking back on myself, I used to speak very differently, and it was horrible.
And what's more rewarding than being fantastic is being on the road.
Yeah.
Awesomeness, because you know, you can just be like, I'm not that same guy. An episode, what the heck ever.
Yeah.
You know, I grabbed that energy, and dude.
And that's kind of, you know, speaking of the road, I want to take this on the road. You're about to take this Elvis on the road. Oh yeah.
I want to drag you guys down to the Keys with me.
Yes. Yeah. We're gonna
do some full-on blue Hawaii.
Oh yeah, we're going to, man. We're gonna.
Well, we you know, I mean, just like Dad said, you know, only fools rush in. You know, we need to plan this out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll plan it very strategically. We'll make some moves.
Oh, geez.
For sure. Oh yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, dude, it's been awesome having you here. I guess, yeah. I mean, if I was to hit on one more thing, what's your favorite Elvis song?
I'm Caught in a Trap.
Caught in a Trap?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, this thing is taking over my life. I've left a good job. I left a good job in the city. You know, I mean, holy crap. And then now with this taking me on the road, you know, I think, you know, I'm a rambling man. So, yeah, what was your question?
You said it. You answered it. That's awesome.
Right. So that's what's next for me, man.
That's awesome, man.
Getting on the road, spreading the gospel. You know.
Yeah,
you're a king. Step
dude,
up.
I'm with it. I approve that message, man. Absolutely. Thank you for coming on, man.
My pleasure.
It's been a real pleasure having you here, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, man. Brian Wade Presley. This has been Talking to Me, Talking to You. Have a good one.